Hi, today I'm going to talk about handling feedback because this is something that has come up so often from students, from friends in the creative area, and it is a vulnerable topic because whenever we share our work, our precious work, something that comes from deep within, we put it out there in the field and somebody else is going to say something about it, and that's probably negative. Scary, isn't it? I mean, I'm still scared whenever I share my work and send it out for feedback, and then I get the feedback back via email, and there is this email, and I am going to open it and I'm going to read what this person is saying. Oh God. So, okay. I breathe through and then I look at it, and it's probably very different from what I thought it would be. Yes. So, okay. What am I going to do with it? Maybe I should just hit the delete button? No. Well, probably this person is right and it needs that kind of work. Okay, so I read all the feedbacks and I will try to find common things they say that probably will need work because they are not clear yet. And okay, that's something I can agree with. Probably there's something I have not thought about at all. Do I like it? Do I not like it? So I will just weigh up. Is this something that is helpful? Is this a direction I want to go with my work or not? And that's how I'm going to implement it. I think one thing you really need to be very careful about, especially when it comes to written work or anything that has a story behind it, is to always remember what is the reason why you want to tell this story. What is the story message behind it? And if the suggestions in the feedback correlate with that story message, then it's something you can use. If it doesn't, then you can dismiss it because it will not serve the story. But before we go there, I want to say something else, because the first question I actually ask students or friends: at what stage is your work? Is it a very early draft? Have you only picked up this skill, this art form? Or are you quite far down? Have you produced many drafts? Have you worked on this role for quite a long time? Where are you roughly at this point? Because this makes a huge difference when it comes to choosing the people who you're asking for feedback. It doesn't really make sense to ask high-level professionals at an early stage because their feedback will either be quite shattering or you even destroy the potential open door for later. At this stage, when you're in the early stages, yes, of course, you can get feedback and it will help you, especially if you're stuck and you don't really know and you want to just have some kind of feedback, or you want some scope where you are. And then it makes sense to ask people. First, I would definitely recommend people who are with you, who are supportive of your endeavors, not anybody who's actually very skeptical about what you're doing. You know, the naysayers, we talked about them. So, no, you ask people who are supportive of your work because you need some people in this on your side on the way, even if they find everything totally great, but it's good to have occasionally that. And especially for early stages, I find them very helpful to help you get along. You need something positive. And the second group of people I think who are very useful are people like a mentor or even a teacher, because they will see it at the stage as it is. They will not expect from you that high level that you can't achieve at this point when you're a beginner or very early stages of working on this craft. Oh, this is, by the way, a wonderful lilac from my garden, and I harvested it yesterday, and it smells absolutely wonderful. Wonderful. It's delicious. Sorry. So let's come back to the mentors and the teachers. It is, as a mentor or a teacher, it is your job to help guide you to improve your work, and also to improve your skills, so they can help you with finding the right exercises, finding what is really not working yet in the story. Maybe they can give you a different perspective, but they will not destroy your idea. They will not destroy the spark that is going on inside of you that made you create what you're creating. But they will help you to make it better. So these two groups, the supportive group, so your fan club, and the mentors and the teachers, are the ones you should go first. Both groups are also great for later down the line, definitely. But when it comes to, so you have already worked through a lot of drafts, for example, on the written piece, and you want to see whether it's ready to actually show it to a producer, show it to show it somewhere so you can just sell it. That means you need to ask people in that area. And then there are different ways to do that, and there are different scenarios that can happen. So first of all, you probably just ask them first if they can give you some feedback, and you might want to give them some guidance for what kind of feedback you want from them. So you can give them a questionnaire. You can ask very, very specific questions about, for example, is the character believable? Is the story clear? What's the theme of the story? And so forth. This will give you actionable feedback. So you will see, is, for example, the character clear already? Is it a believable character? Does it have enough layers? And if not, then you will later know you will have to go back to the character and do some more work on it. And so forth. So you give them some guidance for the feedback. Usually people will appreciate that, because to write feedback just for the sake of feedback can be such a huge task. And the bigger the work is that you're sharing with them, the more work it is. And it also can reduce the likability that they will reply. And if they have just to answer certain questions, the work bulk is just not that big, and it's more likely that they will answer and they will give you some proper feedback. Also, it will avoid giving you directions or feedback that will lead into a direction that moves you too far away from the core of the story. That's what I said before. You have to be aware of the story message, the reason why you're writing or doing this, what you're doing. And it's so precious. I will always tell my students, write it somewhere. What is the reason you're doing this? And put it somewhere where you can see it, especially when something hits you that is negative, something that makes you doubt everything. Then look at it. Look at the reason and try to reconnect with it as quickly as possible. And that will also help you to filter out the feedback that is helpful. Because as I said before, if it doesn't serve the story, it's most likely not helpful. If it doesn't serve your purpose, where you're wanting to go with the story or with the piece of art, if it is not moving you towards the audience that you want to reach, then it's not helpful. But if there's a common ground between all the feedback that you're getting, then it's something you should look at. Okay, there could be a different scenario. It's not in written form. You're actually already in a room with producers, let's say, and they have read your work and they are now giving you feedback. So you're sitting there and feel quite vulnerable in this cage with all the lions. So how do you handle that? How will you not become defensive? Because you shouldn't. Actually, you let them talk. You have to let them talk. You have to let them finish, because they are also investing time already. And it will also say a lot about you and your capability of being a team, of how they can work with you or could work with you in the future, how you behave in this scenario. So the best way to handle it, and I got that from Sally Potter, the writer-director who made, for example, Orlando, and she said to me, just have a notebook with you and write down everything they say. If you feel like you have to defend yourself, then just stop yourself and keep writing. Answer questions they have, ask questions, but don't defend a decision. But asking questions is a very proactive act, and it keeps the conversation going. It might even lead towards something that you haven't thought about. It will give you more answers than defending yourself. And it will keep the relationship positive in the room. Because it's okay not to agree, but you don't have to argue about it. That's not the point. You have to find a way to calm yourself down in this moment. And I find that so helpful just to write. And of course, I feel all the emotions rising. But as I keep writing, as I just ask questions, I remain as calm as I can be in a situation like that, because I'm nervous anyway. So that the emotions are already up, and that's just the way I am, and probably a lot of other people are like that as well. We are very vulnerable in that situation. Our work is out there, something that we created, something that is close to our heart is out there, and other people are judging it. And that's not easy to handle, honestly. But this is a very good way to handle it. And in the end, it's your decision how you implement feedback. It's your decision how you handle all that kind of feedback. And the most important thing is, don't get discouraged by any kind of feedback. If people only say negative things and can't say anything positive about it, it's either because it's not their thing, and that's okay. They don't have to. Not everybody likes everything. I'm sure there are a lot of things you don't like and you don't get. I certainly do. But it's possible to choose the wrong people to ask. Yeah. And the second thing, the second reason can be that they have a bad day, or maybe some people are just generally like that. Then they're definitely the wrong people to ask. Okay. So don't be discouraged. Just keep working. Try to find the positive even in the negative. Try to find what can inspire you to move on and to move forward with your work. What helps you to get better? What helps you to make your work better? That's what is important, nothing else. So thank you for being with me today. I invite you to add to the discussion about feedback. I'm sure you have a lot of experience on how to handle feedback. Maybe you have other ideas that you can share. Please do so down in the comments. I am very happy if you can contribute as well. And if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like and you haven't already, I'm also very happy if you subscribe to my channel. So see you very soon and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.